A bikini brand collapses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at this article from news.com.au that's discussing the iconic Bikini Brand Seafolly going into voluntary administration. Now, while I like bikinis, I don't know anything about the different brands. So I'm not sure how iconic or famous Seafolly is. I guess I'm just not the demo. Well, no, in some ways I am the demo. I'm the one that goes in there and buys them for the wife, you know, a present for her, which is really a present for you. Nevertheless, let's have a look at this. Are you a fan of Seafolly? You know, do you wear their clothing? Are you a, well, do you have brand loyalty to them, and are you disappointed that they're going to disappear? Well, not disappear, they're in voluntary administration, although getting out of voluntary administration seems to be a rare feat at the moment. It feels like there's been a retail recession even before we had this economic lockdown. At the beginning of the year, it was one day after another business going into voluntary administration, left, right, and center. And retail, well, it's going to cop it. Retail is a big employer. A lot of people work in these stores. And often you have women working in these stores with flexible hours, usually, just to accommodate some of the challenges of keeping a household and raising children. This is kind of, I know it's a dose of reality there. Some people don't like to hear. Some people like to kind of, have more to their life than careers. But no, we can't talk about that. That never happens. Anyway, that's kind of why when we see all the unemployment statistics, when we see unemployment shooting up, when we see part-time unemployment going down, they'll always mention that women are more affected. And this is simply the reason. It's just the type of work that they're doing. And a lot of it is in retail, and a lot of retail is taking a hit, even before we had the lockdown. I mean, how many people are going and buying bikinis right now when, can you go to the beach? I guess you can now. Yeah, but it's too bloody cold. Now in Queensland, the weather, it's so cold, it's only when the Victorians go to the beach. They'll come for a holiday, and they'll be there swimming, and I've adapted. I've become Queenslander now. I grew up in Victoria, and we'd be going to the beach in this weather up here, thinking, oh, it's so beautiful, so warm, and the Queenslanders would look at you like you're utterly insane. Nonetheless, let's have a look. So the iconic Australian bikini brand that has 44 stores across Australia has collapsed, citing the pandemic as the reason. So 44 stores. That's decent. That's a decent brand. Like the iconic Aussie bikini brand Seafolly has gone into voluntary administration. In a statement, the company cited the toll of the pandemic as the reason for the collapse. The company currently has 44 stores in Australia and 12 overseas, so they had a international presence. Scott Langdon, Raoul Goyle of Corda Mentha Restructuring have been appointed voluntary administrators. They say it will be business as usual as they assess the company. Well, it usually is. But who has confidence in this? I've been watching I've discovered another YouTuber, uneducated economist, and he's an American guy, and he was sharing a story, which is quite good, about how he's gone through this twice. And look him up, guys. He's growing quite fast. And he was sharing a story of how he worked in a lumber yard, how they were telling him all the stories. And one takeaway he took from it, that the restructurers were only getting about 20% back up and running. I mean, that's the thing. When they come in here, being an administrator, being a liquidator, profitable business, isn't it? There's going to be a shortage of liquidators. So we'll have to see. While they say business as usual, would the people on the ground have confidence in them, or would you be out there looking for other work? Or is there even an option now? Is there even an option? Are people just going to be disincentivized from getting out there and finding work? All Seafolly gift cards and the popular Beach Club rewards points will continue to be redeemable at all Seafolly stores, he said in a statement. We encourage all loyal Seafolly customers to come to the retail stores and redeem the Beach Club rewards plus earn more points. Yeah, they want to get you spending. Wait till they start discounting if it gets in a lot of trouble. They need to find a buyer to it. They need to restructure and find a buyer for the business. Mr. Langdon confirmed that Mentha would immediately commence a sale of the business. There you go. There you go. Calling on interested parties to contact their Sydney office. Given the quality of the brand and its reputation, there will inevitably be a high level of interest in purchasing the business, he said. Seafolly is the latest casualty to buckle under the pandemic's pressure. In May, clothing retailer Jigsaw announced it would close its Australian division, while the fashion heavyweight PAS Group announced they'd enter voluntary administration, leaving some of Australia's best-known labels facing an uncertain future. The popular retailer was behind 225 shops across Australia and New Zealand, owns major brands including Review, Black Pepper, Yarra Trail Design Work, and Jet Swimwear, and also supplies stock to Myer and other stores. Well, I mean, come on, guys. Myer's in trouble. David Jones are in trouble. The entire retail sector is in trouble. I mean, if brand loyalty there, they've got set up, they've got an infrastructure, they're going to cut all the stores that are making a loss. They'll use this to get rid of all the debt they can. In March, rival swimwear brand Tiger Lily also collapsed into voluntary administration, blaming the economic downturn from the pandemic. Well, see, this is the thing. It's not the pandemic itself. It's the response to mitigate it. That's the issue. Other retailers to collapse recently include Harris Scarfe, Jeans West, Ishkar, although I've been told that Ishkar has come back. Bardot, Kiki K, Colette by Colette, and, well, we've seen Bardot twice. But Ishkar is an interesting one. They're a very interesting one. Apparently they had, what happened to them, just before Christmas, their imports were held up. Paperwork issue, apparently, with regards to fumigation. And that was enough to put them on the edge. So it'll be interesting to see if they came back in, because there has been talk of some supply issues, although international trade seems to have opened up again. So retail woes. The announcement comes hot on the heels of a slew of other high-profile Australian businesses that have folded in 2020. It started in early January, when it was revealed department store Harris Scarfe was set to shut 21 stores across 5 states over the course of just 1 month after the retailer was placed into receivership in December. Just days later, McWilliams Wine, the country's 6th largest wine company that has been run by the same family for more than 140 years, announced it had also appointed voluntary administrators. Then it was the popular video game chain EB Games' turn, with the business confirming it was closing at least 19 stores across the country within weeks, while fashion chain Bardot is also planning to shut 58 stores across the nation by March. Well, it would have. In January, it also merged Curious Planet, the education retailer previously known as Australian Geographic, which was owned by the parent company Co-op Bookshop, closed 63 stores after failing to find a buyer for the brand. Now, that was an example of a business where they tried to sell it and no one wanted it, or no one put an offer that they were acceptable to take. While denim chain Jeans West entered voluntary administration. I need a shot of coffee. Bose closed all their stores across Australia. Kaufland pulled out of Australia after spending $500 million. Colette by Colette shut down. G-Star shut down or entered voluntary administration. And we also, what they haven't mentioned here, is Microsoft are closing all of their physical shops, with the exception of a few, just a few, destination stores, flagship stores. So they'll only have one in Sydney. This year's dismal retail record follows the horror of 2019. And we'll just skim through this. It was Ed Harry, Napoleon Purtis, Shoes of Prey, Karen Millen, Benny Burgers, the good old 7 Red Rooster outlets, Style Runner, Zanu, Muscle Coach, although it sounds like that was something else with the owner. Then you've got Dimmies. Dimmies came back as well. Gratini's restaurant chain. Alex Perry closed his one shop, which, for fashion, I'm not surprised. And there you go. So retail has taken a hit. It has taken a hit. Another casualty here. And we'll have to see if Seafolly finds a buyer. And who's next, do you think? What brand do you think will be next in the female clothing, activewear type of sector? Will take a hit. They had 12 international stores. Maybe brands that have more international stores may be a bit more viable. As always, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Are you a fan of their brand? Are you sad to see them go? Do you think they'll find a buyer? As always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're a fan of the channel and want to support us a little bit extra, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch at HeiseSays. You can support us using Gold Pass or via PayPal. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next episode.